Okay, so today I'm going to share with you a few exercises that you can do that are going to actually help your lower back. Some people experience regular low back pain, and I have come up with a protocol of some very powerful, very simple exercises that you can do to start to release some of the muscle tension that creates lower back pain. And actually, if you're having any tension or pain in any part of your spine, these exercises are going to help because they're going to bring a little bit more flexibility to your spine. They're going to help to release the upper back muscles away from the downward pull that, life in front of a computer and looking down at books and looking down at objects all the time are in this modern age are really facilitating this kind of tight, poor use of the body. So we're really looking at how we can feel more comfortable more often in our bodies and really begin to become truly well. This is my desire for you, and it's really the overarching desire of this course that we're doing in the 30-day renewal map. So I'm going to come back here. I know I'm a little smaller, so I'm going to come back to my mat so that you can see me. And the first thing that we're going to do, I have this block here. This is a yoga block. And remember that when you're first sitting, you're wanting to open up your hip joints a little bit so you can sit on your block, which makes your hips a little bit higher than your knees. Now, some of you are going to still be feeling a little uncomfortable sitting in this position. So I want to remind you that you want to start allowing your body to sit comfortably in this cross-legged position. You could even put your feet up if your hips and knees are complaining and feeling a little cranky today, or just even loosely bring your legs in. They don't have to be in that yogic half lotus position. But we're going to just start by kind of reclaiming our spine, feeling the weight of the body dropping down into that block. If you don't have a block, then using pillows is fine. Try to have hard pillows if you can. And then just take a few moments to breathe, letting your chin, letting your nose drop a little bit so you feel an easy rotation of the head on the top of the spine. And then we're thinking about the head leading the spine into length. So it's kind of a paradox. We're dropping down through the weight of the body and at the same time allowing for this beautiful uprightness or up thought. So as if your head was inclining towards the ceiling. You're going to do that for a few moments. Then we're going to take the block away and we're going to come on to all fours. Now, you're on all fours, your wrists are directly under your shoulder joint. And you don't want to have your elbows bent. You really want to push a little bit into the floor with your hands. The top of your feet are pressing. So this is a pretty active position. We call this tabletop position. So we're not letting the lower back sink, and we're not letting the shoulders pull up. So we're really trying to find that kind of neutral position, because the next thing that you're going to do is just take a few crawling steps forward. And you can look around, kind of notice your environment, think of yourself kind of in an animal form, your favorite puma or lioness. And then we're going to go into cat. Now this is a yoga exercise. Cat is a dropping of the head. You're drawing the belly up and you're dropping your tailbone down. So you're getting a nice stretch in that low back. And you're not going to press too much into the upper back. So really feature the pelvis area. And then the next thing is cow. You're going to drop down at the hip joints and look out. Okay, nice breath in. Now we're going to go back to cat. Breathe out, pull the belly into the spine, dropping your sitting bones down, making that really big witchy cat curve, and then relaxing. Try not to go too much down when you look out. You're not going to be pressing at all. Just very gently dumping your belly down and looking out. Good. And then the next thing we're going to do is just move back onto your haunches. So the sitting bones, the pelvis is coming down and resting on the heels, or a little bit higher if you're feeling a little stiff, and you're going to walk your hands forward into extended child, bringing your head, your forehead down to the mat. You could even put a hand on the back of your neck and see if you can relax your neck as you do it. But it's just a little bit of weight going into the forehead towards the ground. Take a few breaths here. It's very relaxing, deeply relaxing. And then coming back up onto all fours. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is some leg stretches. Now, the brilliance of doing leg stretches is that the legs can pull into the hip joints quite readily and put a drag on the lower back. That's one of the reasons why the lower back gets into so much difficulty and tension and pain. So what we're going to do is just 4 simple leg stretches. And each of those stretches is going to feature or stretch one part of the thigh muscles. So we're going to start with a stretch of the hamstrings, the underside of the thighs. So go ahead and lie down. You can lie on your mat. You can even bring your head to a pillow or to a block. And you're going to just raise your leg up to the ceiling and flex your foot. Now, if that already is too much of a stretch, bend your knee a little bit and point your toes. The full movement is to stretch and straighten your knee and flex your foot. And then we're going to just ever so gently draw that leg in towards your chest, little pulses, not very fast. And then bending the knee, bringing the foot back down, and we're going to bring the other leg up. Flexing the foot and stretch. Again, the modified version is to point the foot and keep your knee bent. So if you don't feel much in this position with the knee bent, start to straighten your knee a little bit and start to draw that leg up. You really feel that stretch in the hamstring muscle. It's very, very, very good for your back to do this, even though we're getting a nice stretch in the front. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is come onto our side. And for this one, you want to have your knees bent a little bit. You can bring your arm down or even bring your arm straight out and bring your head down. I still have that block there. So if you want to access that block, that's great. This time we're going to just raise the leg. The knee is parallel. It's not going up or it's not dipping down. It's just parallel. And you're going to reach for the top of your ankle and then pull your leg back and do a few little pulses. You'll feel the stretch on the front of the leg, which is called the quadriceps. Good, and just do that. We're going to do both sides. I'm not really going to demonstrate the second side for you, but go ahead and do the second side. And then the next exercise is to bring your feet to the floor. Your legs are a comfortable distance apart, not too wide. And then you're going to bring one leg up so that it's resting on the other thigh, just a little bit above the ankle joint. Okay, this is going to be for the piriformis muscle, which is a deep muscle in the back of the buttocks, and it moves outward to the side. It can get very, very tight. And then what you want to do is lift that foot and reach your hands either under the thigh or even if you want an even deeper stretch to the outside of the shin. And we're just going to hold that. We're not going to pulse this time. We're just going to hold this position. See if you can relax your shoulders, not let them pull up. Just keep them nice and relaxed. It's a very passive stretch for the piriformis muscle and the outside of the thigh. Again, another place, especially if you live in cities and are walking on concrete a lot. And then if you want to, you can just rock side to side as you're doing this too. You'll really feel that stretch. Okay, we're going to bring the foot back down. Other foot comes down. Other leg comes up and crosses. We're going to pick up the foot from the ground and reach under the thigh and just do the same thing. Also, if you want a deeper stretch, then go to the outside. Either one of them is fine. You're going to feel that stretch on whether you have your hands under your thigh or to the outside of the shin. And then just feel breathing, relaxing as much as you can. Let those shoulders relax. Let your breath come in. And then to come out of it, just let go of that thigh, bring your foot to the ground and uncross your legs. So the last one we're going to do is for the inside of the legs. Now, the first basic stretch is just to put your feet together and open your knees apart. This is another yoga exercise. We call that butterfly. So that's one way to stretch the inner thighs. But if you want a bigger stretch, bring your legs up. Hook your fingers into the big toe, around the finger and thumb around the big toe, and open your legs. Open and stretch your legs, and then rock back and forth. Looks kind of silly, but we call this happy baby pose, which is often done at the very end of a yoga class. Again, very relaxing and very restoring, which is what this course is all about. And then when you're done, just bring your legs together, keep your knees bent and float your feet to the floor. And if you want to, you can rest in this position for another 5 minutes or so, as many. It relaxes the back muscles. It does wonders for the back. Making sure though, if you do that, you don't want your feet too close together. They should be 12 to 15 inches apart from one another. And the hands can just rest easily, letting the weight of the lower arm and finger rest on the ribs. And you can even close your eyes if you wish to breathe and just to relax and let go. This is an extraordinary exercise. Well, actually, rest pose. We call it constructive rest in the Alexander technique. And it's very, very good when you have acute back pain. Highly recommended to do this a few times a day for 10 to 20 minutes, depending on what your tolerance level is. All right, this is Diane, and I will see you next time. Take good care.